Hi, what's your name and where were you born?
I used to be Eric Kokish, and I was born in Montreal in 1947, but now I'm in Toronto, and I'm this guy who's called Coach.
Okay. Who taught you how to play bridge, and how old were you?
I was about 15 or 16. I taught myself reading a book on a train coming home from New York when I got tired of doing the things my parents wanted me to do.
You taught yourself, really? So who did you play with?
We had a bridge club in high school, and one of the first people I started to play with is the girl I eventually married, Beverly Kraft. We were in the the Monklands Bridge Club. Monklands, it was before that even. It was in Monklands High. We had a bridge club. And we weren't very good or anything. We were very enthusiastic, and eventually got hooked on it.
That's a romantic story.
It cost us a year at university. We split up and got together 20 years later. That's a nice story.
Goes around, comes around,
yeah.
So at the time, like, what did you like about the game? Did you like having this romance involved, or?
Well, that was a part of it. It was true, but it was a game you could play competitively, and it involved some intelligence and communication, and those are things I like a lot. And I was always sort of a little different as a kid. When the other kids were out doing this, I was doing that. We missed the years of drugs and stuff by not doing them. But I was
probably a good thing.
Yeah.
So you are, of course, the coach of the famous Nickel team that has won many times over, and don't play too much, but when you did play in the past, or maybe even now as a coach, are there any attributes you look for in partners or teammates? Yeah.
I like guys who are willing to deal with the truth rather than I'm right or you're right, and backing a position that way. And guys who have an open mind that are willing to learn about the game are ideal partners or ideal teammates. They're usually quick to see what the right thing is rather than milk their own point of view after they've made a mistake. I think that's really, really important. Today, there are more and more good players than there ever were before. And what really makes people stand out is when they become a good partnership. They function well together, they last for a long time. They develop agreements and stick together and do it. And guys who can build a team that way really have it so much better than everybody else.
Absolutely, a big edge.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's part of the edge the Nickel team has, thanks to you and your coaching.
Well, I don't know. The partnerships do what they do. I've done a lot of work with Ralph and Nick, and since they started from scratch, there were a lot of things we actually could do. Bob and Zia are sort of from different planets, trying to arrive at the same place together. They're great players, just fantastic, but probably the whole is not greater than the sum of its parts in this case.
Right.
But we're working on it.
Yeah.
Jeff and Eric have been together for 30 years, and it's just fantastic. We have a good team.
So now you are, of course, the coach of my junior team, and I know you have been...
Junior teams of Christmas Past.
Yeah, and junior teams of Christmas Past, and you've been a great help for Canadian Bridge. I'm wondering if you have any words of advice for other youngsters out there.
Well, again, the kind of thing that really will get you places in a hurry is that you find yourself a partner you enjoy being with, you can work on the game together, and try and play in the best competition you can find ever, even if you get your brains beat in for a while. That's the way to get better.
Right. Yeah.
And don't be afraid to be wrong. And be objective about things and talk about them afterwards and ask good players. They're only too happy to help you. It's great to be a junior these days.
It certainly is, especially with coaches like you helping us.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
So you've obviously been around the game for a long time. Is there any memorable, funny, or interesting story that stands out for you?
My favorite story is still the finals of the Vanderbilt in 1974, which we won with an unsung team. And I was playing with Joey Silver, and we were at the late stage of a very close match, and we had a completely natural auction after a two-club opening to reach 6-0 trump. And Ron Anderson was the declarer, and Joey was thinking about what to lead. Joey was the declarer, and Ron was thinking about what to lead. And eventually, he spread his cards out on the table and asked Joey to pick the opening lead. Joey was the declarer. He said, I really don't know what to do. You pick one. So Joey picked one. It turned out to be the worst lead for declarer. So he's playing. He comes down to an end game. He had no clubs in his hand to start. Dummy had ace, queen, 10.
Okay.
Came down to a position where Dummy had the ace, queen, 10 of clubs, and he was in Dummy. And he exited with the queen of clubs, and they won the king offside and had to lead back into the ace, 10 to make it.
Nice.
That may be my favorite moment in bridge.
Pretty cool hand. Thank you, Eric.
All right. Good luck with whatever you're doing.